Hey, welcome to the Working Class Bug YouTube channel. My name is Ted. Today we're going to look at this 1971 Volkswagen Beetle convertible. Tell you a little bit about it, some weird things, some interesting things. Let's get at it. All right, like I said, this thing is a Beetle convertible. It is a Super Beetle, so it's a little bit different than the older Beetles. But this one is a 1971, so it still has some of the older flavor, like the flat windshield, and yeah, the interior is still somewhat like a older Beetle. Now, this particular Beetle here is what I would say a decent driver quality. It's not going to win any trophies at the show, but it'll get you to the show, and you can have fun looking around. And of course, these things, I mean, they're a little quirky. They do have the engine in the back, like most old air-cooled Volkswagens do. Yeah, there's no radiator, there's no antifreeze, there's nothing like that to go wrong. They are air-cooled. There's a fan driven off the back of the generator here that forces air down over the cylinder heads to cool the engine. And of course up front, since the engine's not up front, yeah, you've got your frunk, or whatever you want to call it, your front trunk. I don't know if you can see, but gas tank is in here. So you're riding around pretty much with a gas tank right above your knees. You can see this side over here. This thing does need a little bit of interior work. It's definitely not perfect by any means whatsoever. But like I say, it's a good one just to kind of tool around and go to the shows and look at stuff. But I'll have some videos about some of the more in-depth things about how the different systems work on this car. For instance, because it has no radiator and it has no antifreeze, most modern cars or even older cars that have radiators and antifreeze, that's how you get the engine heat and get heat inside the cab from that. Well, this doesn't have that. So, it takes air from the fan and pushes it across some heat exchangers on the exhaust manifolds to put hot air inside the cab in the wintertime when you want heat. Some of these did come with air conditioning. Wasn't that great. I mean, these things weren't very powerful to begin with. So this particular one, when it was new, was 50 horsepower. So you got an air conditioner that, and you're not getting very far. Now this car comes with, I would say it's a rare thing, but yeah, they made hundreds of thousands of these cars, so nothing's really rare when it comes to these. But if you look here, we do have a stick shift, but down below there is no clutch pedal. This is what they called an auto stick. It's a little complicated, but it was still pretty easy to work on for the day. But there's a little sensor inside the bottom of the gear shift there, a little contact, and when you move the gear shift any which direction, there's a vacuum dash pot down here that actually pulls in the clutch for you. So you don't have to operate the clutch. You pretty much put it in gear, you let your hand off the shift mechanism, you hit the gas, and you go. We can talk about that a little bit more in another video later. Don't see very many of these on the road anymore. I guess that the oil embargo of the 1970s kind of brought these into more popularity because they were cheaper. They were easier to run, easy to work on. They're very simple mechanically. They're easy on gas. So back in the 1970s and 1980s, I mean, you saw all these things all over the place. And nowadays you don't really see too many of them. You know, all the popular vehicles all kind of look the same nowadays. Yeah, just little boxes. Yeah, the shiny boxes that everybody drives. So these really stand out, and I like oddball cars, so this really appeals to me. Um, let's fire this thing up so you can kind of hear what it sounds like. Give it a look around. Hopefully she starts right up. We're in neutral. You can hear that old air-cooled Volkswagen sound. You don't really hear anymore on the streets. Still runs a little bit rough. It does need some tune. Just need a little work. I'd say it is pretty much just a driver quality, and that's what I do. I drive it. Take a look here, and I can show you how the transmission kind of works. Put your foot on the brake, put in gear, let go. It's like putting the car in drive. Yeah. Let your foot off the brake, and away you go. Simple as that. As far as the interior goes, there's not really much to talk about in here. It's really kind of simple. I mean, you got a fuel gauge, you got a speedometer, and some simple dummy lights. And this one came with an 8-track. I'm not sure if that was aftermarket or what, but it has AM radio and an 8-track. And not really much more than that. You get rubber floor mats and pretty much a shifter, a park brake. And of course, all important when you're in the 60s and 70s, a cigarette lighter. And got to have your ashtray. But other than that, not much to it. Crank up windows where the cranks actually are, when they're not broken off. And the good wing glasses, the good old air conditioning from the back in the day. And of course, the convertible top. And I can take you for a little ride here if you like. Let's get her back in neutral and crank away. This transmission does pretty much really just have a high and a low, a one and a two. I mean, it's got a low gear for like taking off on hills and of course reverse. So pretty much for the most part, you just have 2 speeds. The first gear gets you up to about 35, 40 miles an hour, and then you can shift into second, and then you're off. You can do, like the manual says, you can do like 65 miles an hour in this thing, but yeah, I'm not sure you'd want to do 65, 70 on the interstate with this car. Yeah. Hey. All right. Car does have seat belts if you're scared. But, I'm not sure how good they'll really do you. Back off here and we'll take another look around. Yeah. Yeah, like I said before, this one's pretty much just a driver quality. Yeah. But it is a good little car. Yeah. Take a little pause here and we'll go for another little ride. All right, if you're ready, we'll go for another little trip here. We'll see how this thing does. Sorry, my camera woman is not feeling good today, so I'm on my No trains coming. Hopefully, let's not run into one of those. Show you how we roll from a stop here. See, we're in gear one. Just hit the gas and rolling. See, get up about 35, 40 miles an hour. Just let off the gas. Pull the gear shift in the second. Hit the gas again. Good to go. Now you're in high gear. Come to something you want to downshift, just let off the gas, put it back in first, a little bit of gas, let go of the shifter. There you go. That right there is all she's got. That was flat to the floor. Yeah. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I've got for today. Thanks for hanging out with me, running around a little bit. And, like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. See you guys next time.